Welcome to Project Red Pill. In today's episode, we're diving into one of the strangest and most puzzling stories of all the financial world, the tale of the traveling stockbroker, who claimed he was a time traveler from the future. But here's the twist. After being arrested for insider trading, Carlssin made a shocking claim. He told the authorities he was from the year 2256, and had insider knowledge of future events. Today, we'll explore the wild details of Carlssin's story, the theories surrounding his claim, and ask the question, was he a genius, a con man, a lucky investor, or a genuine time traveler? We'll see. Up next.
Take the blue pill. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
It's early 2003. The stock market is bouncing back after the dot-com bubble, and investors are more than a little cautious. Now, no one's making big, risky moves. Well, nobody except this one guy, Andrew Carlssin. So picture this. A modest investor who somehow in just 2 weeks manages to turn a mere $800 into an astounding $350 million. So how did he do it? Insider trading, crazy stroke of luck, or was he a time traveler? So here's how the story goes. Andrew Carlssin appeared on the FBI's radar after making a series of high-risk, high-reward trades that were, frankly, just too good to be true. In a market still recovering from massive losses, he was buying stocks others were totally avoiding and timing his trades with incredible precision. Now, out of 126 trades that he made, every single one of them was profitable. It's never happened before, and it's never happened since. So, you heard that right. Every single trade that he made was incredibly profitable. Now, as anyone with a basic understanding of the stock market knows, that this kind of success is nearly impossible. So it's never happened before. So naturally, the FBI began to take notice. They decided to investigate this mystery investor who seemingly came out of nowhere. They even went so far as to arrest him under suspicion of insider trading. Now, they look into this guy, and this is January of 2003, and they can't find anything on this guy prior to December of 2002. It's weird. So he just came out of nowhere, or he's using a fake name. I don't know. So when they arrest him, basically three things are likely to happen. One of three things. One, the person denies. Two, they take the fifth. They plead the fifth and don't say anything. Or three, they confess, yeah, I had this information and shouldn't have acted on it, but I did. But what's weird in this situation is instead of doing any of that, he confessed to being a time traveler from the year 2256. Yeah, you heard that right. A time traveler from 2256. According to the alleged confession, Carlssin told the FBI that he had traveled back in time and used his knowledge of future stock movements to make his fortune. He knew every market fluctuation, every boom, every bust, and he used it to his advantage. Now, this is the part where you're probably thinking, yeah, right. And you wouldn't be alone. The FBI agents thought the same thing, but Carlssin stuck to his story. He didn't try to wiggle out of it or change his tune. He even doubled down by claiming that if they were lenient on him, that he would tell them how to create the cure for AIDS and the location of Osama bin Laden. That's crazy. That he was going to provide inside information on upcoming technological breakthroughs if they were lenient on him. But despite all of this, he wouldn't or couldn't reveal anything about the time travel and how that worked. According to him, that if he disclosed that technology or process behind time travel, that it would get into the wrong hands and change the course of history in a negative way. He warned that if such knowledge fell into the wrong hands, it could disrupt the entire fabric of history with potentially catastrophic results, was the exact language. So here we have an alleged time traveler claiming knowledge of some of the biggest mysteries and technological secrets of our time, but the FBI wasn't buying it. They continued their investigation, looking into his background, his bank accounts, anything that might verify his story. But what they found was nothing at all on this guy. It was as if Andrew Carlssin didn't exist before 2002. Birth records, no social security number, no permanent address, nothing. He had appeared out of nowhere, which only fueled the mystery. And soon after his arrest, things got even stranger. Somebody allegedly his bail. His bail was $1 million. I mean, not everybody, especially in 2003, is walking around with that kind of money that they can post $1 million bail. And then, after he was bailed out, he completely vanished. He was never seen or heard from again. No records of a trial, no evidence of where he went, and not even confirmation of who paid his bail. So naturally, because some of these things were missing, it led to a lot of speculation. Was Carlssin truly from the future? Or was he just a very clever con artist? Some believe he may have been picked up by fellow time travelers, whisked away to protect him in the future from any further complications. Others think he simply made up the story to avoid jail time, then someone helped him disappear. So what are we left with after this? Was Andrew Carlssin a time traveler, or was he just a very clever fraud? Or maybe he was simply a figment of somebody's imagination, a modern myth created to entertain and mystify. At the end of the day, the truth about Andrew Carlssin may never be known, but his story serves as a fascinating exploration of human curiosity. Our desire for wealth and our fascination with the possibility of bending time and space. That our addiction to cutting corners and getting rich quick. But it is interesting that it's kind of a strange story to completely make up, which all I'm saying is that maybe there is a grain of truth in this. Maybe there was somebody that made a lot of trades in a row and they looked into him, couldn't prove anything. Or maybe, they arrested somebody, he posted his own bail because he had $350 million and then disappeared. And I think that happens probably more than you'd think, is that somebody gets in trouble with the regulators or law enforcement and they go on the run, right? I mean, there's a top 10 most wanted. But because he went so long without them actually identifying who he was, he can't be listed on the top 10 most wanted because they don't have his real name. They don't have his last known location. They don't have his background, social security number, or anything like that. So they don't know anything about him. Which brings up another question, is I wonder how he was making these trades. I mean, because to be a stockbroker, you have to be licensed. You have to have your, Series 7? So the only other way that he would be making these trades is like through an E-Trade account or something like that. I'm not sure how stringent the rules were in 2003, but now, I mean, you have to have a Series 7 and it's highly regulated and scrutinized. I mean, you have to get you have to submit your fingerprints and background checks and all that just to get the license. So I'm curious of how he was making these trades. I couldn't find anything on it, but I do find it interesting that this story has lasted for so long. I mean, it's going on 20, north of 20 years now. I don't know. Strange. Well, I want to know what you guys think. Was Andrew Carlssin a time traveler, a con artist, or just a product of the tabloid imagination? Love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment, share your theories, and let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, this is Project Red Pill. Question.
Take the blue pill. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.